Matthew 19:26. But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. And one with crushed testicles does not enter into the assembly of the Lord. One born of a harlot shall not enter in the assembly of the Lord unto the 10th generation. The Ammonite and Moabite shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord, even unto the 10th generation. He shall not enter into the assembly of the Lord, even unto in the aeon. For a reason of their not meeting with you with bread loaves and water in the way of you going forth from Egypt, and that they hired against you Balaam son of Beor from out of Mesopotamia to curse you. The Lord your God did not want to listen to Balaam, and the Lord your God converted the curses into a blessing. For the Lord your God loved you. You shall not address peaceable to them, nor be advantageous to them all your days into the aeon. You shall not abhor an Edomite, for he is your brother. You shall not abhor an Egyptian, for you are a sojourner in his land. If they shall bear sons to themselves in the 3rd generation, they shall enter into the assembly of the Lord. If you should go forth to camp against your enemies, then you shall guard from every evil thing. If there might be among you a man who is not clean because of this flow by night, then he shall go forth outside the camp. He shall not enter into the camp. And it will be towards evening he shall bathe his body in water, and at the going down of the sun he shall enter into the camp. And a place will be for you outside the camp. You shall go forth there outside, and a trowel will be upon your belt, and it will be whenever you should sit separately outside, you should dig with it, and bringing it you shall cover your indecency by it. For the Lord your God walks about your camp to rescue you, and to deliver up your enemy before your face. And your camp shall be holy, and there shall not be seen among you a thing of indecency, that he shall turn away from you. You shall not deliver up a servant to his master, who is added to you by his master. He shall dwell with you among you in every place in whichever it shall be please him. You shall not afflict him. There shall not be a harlot from the daughters of Israel, and there shall not be one whoring for the sons of Israel. You shall not bring the hire of a harlot, nor the price of a dog into the house of the Lord your God for any vow, for even both are an abomination to the Lord your God. And you shall not lend to your brother with interest of silver, and interest of foods, and interest of anything, of whichever you should lend. To the alien you may lend with interest, but to your brother you shall not lend with interest, that the Lord your God should bless you in all your works upon the land, into whichever there is to inherit it. If you shall vow a vow to the Lord your God, you shall not pass time to give it, for requiring the Lord your God shall require it from you, and it will be a sin to you. But if you should not want to make a vow, it is not a sin to you. The things going forth through your lips you shall guard, and you shall do it in which manner you made a vow to the Lord your God, in the manner of a gift which your mouth spoke. If you enter into the vineyard of your neighbor, you may eat as much grape as to fill up your soul, but you shall not put them into a container. If you should enter into the harvest field of your neighbor, then you may collect together corn in your hands, but the sickle in no way shall be put upon the harvest of your neighbor.
And if any take a woman and should live with her, and it shall be if he should not find favor before him, for he finds in her an indecent thing, then he shall write to her a certificate of divorce scroll. He shall put it into her hands, and he shall send her from out of his house. Going forth, should she become another man's wife, the last husband should detest her, and should write to her a certificate of divorce scroll. He shall put it into her hands, and send her forth from out of his house, or her last husband should die who took her to himself as a wife. The former husband sending her out shall not be able to return to her, take her to himself for a wife after being defiled, for it is an abomination before the Lord your God, and you shall not defile the land which the Lord your God gives to you by lot. If any should take a wife recently, he shall not go forth to war, and not one thing shall he put upon him. He shall be innocent in his house for 1 year. He shall make glad his wife whom he took. You shall not take for security a millstone, nor an upper millstone, for this one takes a life for security. If you should capture a man stealing the life of his brethren, of the sons of Israel, and tyrannizing him to sell him, the thief shall die. You shall lift away the evil for yourself from them. Take heed to yourself in the affection of leprosy. You shall guard exceedingly to do according to all the law whichever the priest, the Levite, should announce to you, in which manner I gave charge to you to guard to do. Remember as much as the Lord your God did to Miriam in the way of your going forth from Egypt. If a debt might be owed by your neighbor, any debt whatsoever, you shall not enter into his house to take for security of his item for security. You shall stand outside, and the man of whom your debt is in, he shall bring forth to you the item of security outside. But if the man should be in need, you shall not go to bed with his item of security. By restitution you shall give back him his item of security toward the descent of the sun, and you shall go to bed in his garment. He will bless you, and it will be to you charity before the Lord your God. You shall not disregard the wage of the needy, and one lacking from your brethren, or of the foreigners, of the ones in your cities. Daily you shall give him his wage. The sun shall not set upon him, for he is needy, and in it he has hope. You shall not yet yell out against you to the Lord, and thus it be to you a sin. Fathers shall not die for the children, and the sons shall not die for the fathers. Each for his own sin shall die. You shall not turn aside a judgment of a foreigner, and an orphan, and a widow. You shall not take for security a garment of a widow. You shall remember that you were a servant in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God ransomed you from out there. On account of this I give charge to you to do this thing. If you should reap your harvest in your field, and you should forget a sheaf in your field, you shall not turn back to take it. For to the poor and to the foreigner, to the orphan and to the widow it will be, that the Lord your God should bless you in every work of your hands. If one should pick olives, you shall not turn back to glean after you. It shall be to the foreigner, and to the orphan, and to the widow. Whenever you should gather the vintage of your vineyard, you shall not glean the things after you. Well, it will be for the foreigner, and the orphan, and the widow. And you shall remember that you were a servant in the land of Egypt. So on account of this I give charge to you to do this thing. And if there be a dispute between men, and they should come forward for judgment, and they should judge and should do justice for the just, and should condemn the impious, then it will be, if the one being impious might be worthy of strokes, they shall sit him before the judges, and they shall whip him before him according to his impiety. They shall whip him 40 stripes in number. They shall not add more. But if he should add to whip him above these, by the strokes being more, you shall be disgraced of your brother before you. You shall not muzzle an ox threshing. And if brethren should dwell in the same place, and one of them should die, and there might not be seed to him, the wife of the one having died shall not be outside the husband's family, not near. The brother of her husband shall enter to her, and he shall take her to himself as wife, and he shall live with her. And it will be that the male child, whoever she should give birth to, shall be ordained from the name of the one coming to an end, and his name shall not be wiped away from out of Israel. But if the man does not want to take the wife of his brother, then the woman shall ascend unto the gate to the council of the elders, and shall say, The brother of my husband does not want to raise up the name of his brother in Israel. The brother of my husband does not want to. And the council of the elders shall call him. They shall speak to him, and standing, should he say, I am not willing to take her. And the wife of his brother coming forward to him before the council of elders, then shall untie his sandal, the one from his foot, and shall spit into his face. And responding they shall say, Thus shall they do to the man who shall not build the house of his brother. And his name shall be called in Israel, House of the Untied Sandal. If two men should do combat at the same time, a man against his brother, and should come forward the wife of one of them to rescue her husband from the hand of the one beating him, and stretching out her hand should take hold of his twins, you shall cut off her hand. Your eye shall not spare over her. There shall not be in your money bag a weight and a weight, a great or small. There shall not be in your house a measure and a measure, a great or a small. There shall be to you a true and just weight, and there shall be to you a true and just measure. That you should be many days upon the land which the Lord your God gives to you by lot. For it is an abomination to the Lord your God, every one doing these things, every one doing unjustly. Remember as many things Amalek did to you in the way of your going forth from Egypt, how he opposed you in the way, and beat your rear guard, the ones tiring in your rear, and you hungered and were tired, and you feared not God. It will be, whenever the Lord your God wrests you from all your enemies round about you in the land which the Lord God gives to you by lot to inherit, you shall wipe away the name Amalek from under their heaven, and in no way should you forget. Be whenever you should enter into the land which the Lord your God gives to you by lot to inherit it, and shall dwell upon it, that you shall take from the first fruit of the fruits of your land which the Lord your God gives you by lot, and you shall put them into a basket. You shall go into the place whichever the Lord your God should choose to call upon his name there, and you shall come to the priest, whoever might be in those days. You shall say to him, I announce today to the Lord your God that I have entered into the land which the Lord swore by an oath to our fathers to give to us. And the priest shall take the basket from out of your hands, he shall put it before the altar of the Lord your God, and you shall respond and shall say before the Lord your God, My father threw off Syria, and he went down into Egypt, and sojourned there with few in number, and became there into a great nation, and a populous multitude. The Egyptians maltreated us, and humbled us, and placed upon us hard works. We yelled out to the Lord our God of our fathers, and the Lord listened to our voice, and beheld our humiliation, and our trouble, and our affliction. The Lord led us out of Egypt with great strength, and with a fortified hand, and with a high arm, and with great visions, with great signs, and with miracles. He brought us into this place, and he gave to us this land, a land flowing milk and honey. Now behold, I have brought the firstfruit of the produce of the land which you gave to me, O Lord. You shall leave it before the Lord your God. You shall do obeisance before the Lord your God. You shall be glad in all the good things which the Lord your God gave to you and to your family, you and the Levite and the foreigner among you. And whenever you should complete to tithe all the 10th part of the produce of your land in the 3rd year, the second 10th part you shall give to the Levite and to the foreigner and to the orphan and to the widow. They shall eat in your cities, and they shall be satisfied. You shall say before the Lord your God, I cleared the holy things from out of my house, and I gave them to the Levite, to the foreigner, to the orphan, and to the widow, according to all your commandments which you gave charge to me. I did not pass by your commandment, and I did not forget. I did not eat of them in my grief. I did not yield of them in an unclean manner. I did not give of them to the one having died. I obeyed the voice of the Lord my God, to do as he gave charge to me. Look down from out of your holy house from heaven. Bless your people Israel, and the land which you gave to them, as you swore by an oath to our fathers, to give to us a land flowing of milk and honey. On this day the Lord your God gave charge to you to do all these ordinances and judgments. You shall guard and observe them from your entire heart and from your entire soul. You took God today to be your God, and to go in all his ways, and to guard the ordinances and the commandments and his judgments, and to obey his voice. The Lord took you today for you to be to him a prized people, just as he spoke to you, for you to guard all his commandments, for you to be above all the nations as he made you famous, and a boasting and glorious, for you to be a holy people to the Lord your God as he spoke. And the council of elders of Israel assigned, saying, Guard all the commandments, as many as I give charge to you today. And if it will be in whichever day you should pass over the Jordan into the land which the Lord your God gives to you, that you should set up to yourselves great stones, and you shall whitewash them in lime. You shall write upon the stones all the words of this law, as whenever you should pass over the Jordan, whenever you should enter into the land which the Lord your God gives to you, a land flowing of milk and honey, in which manner the Lord God of your fathers spoke to you. It will be as whenever you should pass over the Jordan, you shall set these stones, which I give charge to you today, on Mount Ebal, and you shall whitewash them with lime. You shall build there an altar to the Lord your God, an altar from out of the stones. You shall not put upon them an iron tool. Of whole stones you shall build the altar to the Lord your God. And you shall offer upon it whole burnt offerings to the Lord your God. You shall sacrifice a sacrifice of deliverance. You shall eat there, and shall be filled up, and be glad before the Lord your God. You shall write upon the stones all this law very clearly. And Moses and the priests, the Levites, spoke to all Israel, saying, Keep silent, and hear, O Israel. On this day you have become a people to the Lord your God. You shall listen to the voice of the Lord your God. And you shall observe all his commandments and his ordinances, which I give charge to you today. Moses gave charge to the people in that day, saying, These shall stand to bless the people in Mount Gerizim, passing over the Jordan: Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Joseph, and Benjamin. And these shall stand for the cursing on Mount Ebal: Reuben, Gad, Asher, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites responding shall say to all Israel with a great voice, Accursed is the man who shall make a carving in a molten image, an abomination to the Lord, a work of the hands of a craftsman, and shall put it in concealment. And answering all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one dishonoring his father or his mother. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one altering boundaries of thy neighbor. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one misleading the blind in the way. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is whoever turns aside a judgment which favors a foreigner, an orphan, and widow. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one going to bed with the wife of his father, for he uncovers the marriage veil of his father. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one going to bed with any beast. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one going to bed with a sister from his father or mother. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one going to bed with his mother-in-law. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one going to bed with a sister of his wife. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one striking his neighbor with treachery. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is the one whoever should take bribes to strike the life of innocent blood. And all the people shall say, May it be. Accursed is every man whoever shall not adhere to all the words of this law to do them. And all the people shall say, May it be. Amen. If in hearing you should hear the voice of the Lord your God, to guard and to observe all his commandments, which I give charge to you today, then the Lord your God shall appoint you above all the nations of the earth. Then all these blessings shall come upon you, and they shall find you if in hearing you should listen to the voice of the Lord your God. Being blessed are you in the city, and being blessed are you in the field. Being blessed are the progeny of your belly, and the produce of your land, and the herds of your oxen, and the flocks of your sheep. Being blessed are your storehouses and your surpluses. Being blessed are you in your entering, and being blessed are you in your going forth. The Lord your God shall deliver up your enemies opposing you, by breaking them before your face. In one way they shall come forth against you, and in 7 ways they will flee from your face. May the Lord send you upon the blessing among your storerooms, and on all whatever you shall put your hand. He will bless you upon the land of which the Lord your God gives to you. May the Lord your God raise you up for himself as a holy people, in which manner he swore by an oath to your fathers. If you should hearken to the voice of the Lord your God, and should go in his ways, then all the nations of the earth shall see you, that the name of the Lord is called upon you, and they shall fear you. And the Lord your God shall multiply you for good things upon the progeny of your belly, and upon the progeny of your cattle, and upon the produce of your ground, upon the land which the Lord swore by an oath to your fathers to give you. And may the Lord open to you his good treasury, the heaven, to give the rain to your land in its season, to bless all the works of your hands. And you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow, and you shall yourselves rule many nations, but they shall not rule you. May the Lord your God place you as head, and not as the tail, and you will be then above, and you will not be underneath. If you should hearken to the commandments of the Lord your God, as many as I give charge to you today, to guard and to observe, you shall not transgress from all the words which I give charge to you today, to the right or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. It shall be, if you should not listen to the voice of the Lord your God, to guard and to observe all his commandments, as many as I give charge to you today, then shall come upon you all these curses, and they shall overtake you. Accursed are you in the city, and accursed are you in the field. Accursed are your storehouses and your surplus. Accursed are the progeny of your belly, and the produce of your land, the herds of your oxen, and the flocks of your sheep. Accursed are you in your entering, and accursed are you in your going forth. May the Lord send upon you lack, and craving, and consumption, upon all things of whichever you should put your hand upon, as much as you should do, until whenever he should utterly destroy you, and until whenever he should consume you quickly, because of your wicked practices, because you abandoned me. May the Lord cleave the plague to you, until whenever he should completely consume you from the land into which you enter there to inherit it. The Lord strikes you with perplexity, and burning heat, shivering and aggravation, carnage and wild wind-blown paleness, and may they pursue you until whenever they should destroy you. And the heavens above your head will be to you as brass, and the earth underneath you as iron. May the Lord appoint the rain of your land a cloud of dust, and dust from out of the heavens shall come down upon you, until it should obliterate you, and until whenever it should destroy you. For may the Lord appoint you for slaughter before your enemies. In one way you shall go forth against them, and in 7 ways you shall flee from their face. You will be in dispersion among all kindness of the earth, and you and your dead will be things devoured by the winged creatures of the heavens, and the wild beasts of the earth, and there will not be one frightening away. For the Lord strike you with the sore of Egypt and the buttocks, and wild mange and itching, so as to not be able to heal. The Lord strike you in derangement, and inability to see, and in astonishment of thought. You will be groping as midday, as the blind ones gropes in the darkness, and your ways will not prosper. You will be there, injured and torn in pieces all the days, and there shall not be one helping you. You shall take a wife, and another man shall have her. You shall build a house, and you shall not live in it. You shall plant a vineyard, and in no way shall you gather its vineyard. Your calf being slain before you, and you will not eat from it. Your donkey being seized by force from you, and it shall not be given back to you. Your sheep being given to your enemies, there shall not be one helping you. Your sons and your daughters will be given to another nation, and your eyes see being inflamed over them, and your hand shall not be strong. The resources of your land and all the things of your toil a nation shall eat which you have no knowledge of, and of you will be injured and devastated all the days. And you will be deranged through the visions of your eyes which you shall see. The Lord strike you with a 7 sore upon the knees and upon the legs, so as to not be able to heal yourself from the sole of your feet unto the top of your head. May the Lord take you and your rulers, whomever you should place over yourself, by a nation whom you have no knowledge of yourselves nor your fathers, and you shall serve there other gods of wood and stone. You will be there for an enigma, and a parable, and a tale, and all the nations, unto whichever the Lord should take you there. Much seed you shall bring forth in the plain, and little will be carried in, for the locust shall eat them. A vineyard you shall plant, and you will work it. Wine you shall not drink, nor will you be glad from it, for the worm shall eat it, and olive trees will be to you in all your borders, but with olive oil you will not anoint, for your olives shall flow away. Sons and daughters you shall bear, but they shall not be yours, for they shall go forth in captivity. All your woods and the produce of your land the blight shall consume completely. The foreigner who is among you shall ascend over you upward and upward, but you shall go down lower and lower. This one shall lend to you, but you shall not lend to this one. This one will be for the head, and you will be for the tail. And all these curses shall come upon you. They shall pursue you and overtake you, until whenever they shall utterly destroy you, and until whenever they shall consume you. For you did not listen to the voice of the Lord your God, to guard his commandments and his ordinances, as many as I gave charge to you. And they will be for you signs to you, and miracles, and among your seeds unto the aeon, because you did not serve the Lord your God with gladness, and with a good heart, because of the multitude of these things. And you shall serve your enemies, whom the Lord shall send as a successor over you in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. He shall put a collar of iron upon your neck, until whenever he shall utterly destroy you. The Lord shall bring upon you a nation, far off from the end of the earth, as the impulse of an eagle, a nation of which you will not hear its voice, a nation impudent in its face, who will not admire the face of an old man, and will not show mercy for the young. It will devour the progeny of your cattle, and the produce of your land, so as to not leave behind for you grain, wine, olive oil, herds of your oxen, or flocks of your sheep, until whenever it should destroy you, and should obliterate you in all your cities, until whenever your walls should be demolished, the high and the fortified ones which you rely upon them in all your land, and it shall afflict you in all your cities which the Lord your God gave to you. You shall eat the progeny of your belly, the meat of your sons and your daughters, as many as the Lord your God gave to you in your straits, and in your affliction in which your enemies shall afflict you. The one tender among you, and the very delicate, shall charm with his eye his brother, and the wife in his bosom, and the left behind children, whoever should be left to him, so as to give one of them from the flesh of his children, whomever he should eat, because of the not having left behind to him anything in the streets. And in the affliction whichever your enemies should afflict you in all your cities, the tender among you, and the exceedingly delicate one, of whom has not taken an attempt with her foot to go upon the land, because of the delicacy, and because of the tenderness, she shall charm with her eye her husband, the one near her bosom, and her son and daughter, and her afterbirth coming forth through her thighs, and her child, whichever she should give birth to. She shall eat them because of the lack of all things, secretly in the streets, and in the affliction by which your enemies shall afflict you in your cities. If you should not hearken to do all the discourse of this law, the ones being written in this scroll, to fear this wonderful and valued name, the Lord your God, then the Lord will render notorious your calamities, and the calamities of your seed, great and surprising calamities, and severe and sure diseases. He shall turn upon you all the grief of Egypt, the severe grief which you were on guard from in front of them, and they shall cleave to you. Every infirmity and every calamity not being written, every one being written in this scroll of the law, the Lord shall bring upon you, until whenever he should utterly destroy you, and you shall be left behind few in number. For you were as the stars of the heavens in multitude, for you did not hearken to the voice of the Lord your God. And it will be in the manner the Lord was glad over you, to do good for you, and to multiply you. And so the Lord will be glad over you, to utterly destroy you, and to lift you away from the land into which you went there to inherit it. And the Lord your God will disperse you into all the nations, from the tip of the earth unto the other tip of the earth. And you shall slave there to other gods of wood and stone, which you have no knowledge of, nor your fathers. But also in those nations he will not rest you, nor in any way will the sole of your foot become stationary. The Lord will give you there another heart, being depressed, and failing eyes, and a melting soul. Your life will be hanging before your eyes. You shall have fear day and night, and not trust in your life. In the morning you shall say, Oh, how that it might become evening. And in the evening you shall say, Oh, how that it might become morning. From the fear of your heart of which you shall have fear, from the visions of your eyes which you shall see. And the Lord will return to you unto Egypt, and boats, and in the way which I said you shall not proceed again to behold it. And you shall be sold there to your enemies for manservants and maidservants. None shall be acquiring you.
O son, keep my words and my commandments hid for yourself. So, son, esteem the Lord, and you shall strengthen him. Besides him, do not fear another. Keep my commandments, and you shall spend life, and my words as if the pupil of your eyes. Put them on your fingers, and inscribe them upon the width of your heart. Speak wisdom to be your sister, and procure to yourself intelligence as an acquaintance, that she should keep you from the strange and wicked woman, if she should put words for you for favor. For from the window of her house she leans into the squares. And whomever she should behold, the foolish offspring, a young man lacking of sense, passing by the corner in the corridors of her houses, speaking in darkness during the evening, whenever all is at rest nightly, or also at dimness, the woman meets with him having the appearance of a harlot, which makes the heart of young men to flutter. She is inciting and carnal, and her feet do not stay still in her house. For a certain time she strays outside, and another time she lies in wait in the squares by every corner. Then taking hold, she fondles him, and with impudent face she says to him, "There is a peace sacrifice with me. Today I render my vows. Because of this I come forth from meeting you. Feeling the absence of your face, I have found you. In dreaming I have stretched my bed. I spreads from Egypt. I have sprinkled my bed with saffron, and my house with cinnamon. Come, for we should enjoy friendship until dawn. Come, for we shall wrap up in passion. For my husband is not at hand in the house. He has gone a long way, taking a bundle of silver in his hands. For only after many days will he come back again to his house. She led him astray with much companionship, and also with nooses. By the things from her lips she led him aground. And he followed after her, being easily led on, and as an ox is led unto a slaughter, and as a dog to bounds, and as a stag shot with a bow, striking into the liver, he hastens as a fowl into a snare, not seeing that he runs for his life. Now then, O son, hear me, and take heed to the sayings of my mouth. Do not turn aside her ways with your heart. You should not be misled by her shortcuts. For she has thrown down many in piercing, and innumerable are whom she has murdered. Her house is the ways of Hades. They lead down into the storerooms of death.
Matthew 7:21-23. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? Then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye, the worker of iniquity. Daniel Ludwig deliberately kept a low profile, so few people were aware that he was one of the richest men in the world. He had business interests in nearly 24 countries, including shipping lines, hotels, power plants, salt mines. As far as is known, Ludwig only gave one interview to a press in his entire life, so many people learned his name when the first Forbes 400 list published in 1982 ranked him number one in the world. Knowing that his wealth could make his estimate a target, Ludwig had blood and DNA samples taken before his death. When a woman named Patricia Ludwig, the daughter of Ludwig's ex-wife, came forward claiming to be his rightful heir, the DNA evidence quickly disproved her claim and revealed there was no relationship between them at all. Jesus warned that there would be many people who would claim to be part of his family without truly having a relationship with him. While God does not want us to live in fear and doubt concerning our relationship with him, he also does not want us to be presumptuous of our standing in his eyes, claiming to have something we do not actually possess. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates? Those who have received Christ by faith need not live in uncertainty. God's word promises, but as many as received him, to them give he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe out on his name. Our confidence rests not in our works or our profession, but in the finished work of Christ and his promise to all who believe. The most important thing in life is not whether we claim to know God, but whether he genuinely knows us, not just as people, but as true members of his family through Jesus Christ.
All your thoughts, for I know that some thoughts are unconscious or semi-conscious, and I do not hold you responsible for those, but you can direct conscious thoughts much more than you may realize. Practice thinking in certain ways, trusting me, thanking me, and in those thoughts become more natural. Reject negative or sinful thoughts as soon as you become aware of them. Don't try to hide them from me, but confess them and leave them with me. Go on your way lightheartedly, for this method of controlling your thoughts will keep your mind in my presence, and your feet on the path of peace. Psalm 20:7. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. 1 John 1:9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. Luke 1:79. To shine on those living in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the path of peace.